Welcome to Health, Law and Policy, Module 1, Part 2, by Dr. G. M. Cornejo, Government Organization. The three branches of the federal government, as illustrated in this slide, are the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. A vital concept in the constitutional framework of government on both federal and state levels is the separation of powers. Essentially, this principle provides that no one branch of government is clearly dominant over the other two. However, in the exercise of its functions, each may affect and limit the activities, functions, and powers of the others. As we can see in this slide, the three branches of government, legislative, executive, and judicial, are fundamental to the structure and functioning of both federal and state governments. Legislative branch. At the federal level, legislative power is vested in the Congress of the United States, which consists of the Senate and the House of Representatives. Congress is responsible for enacting, amending, and repealing laws. It identifies the need for new or revised legislation through its 16 Senate and 19 House standing committees, which investigate and hold hearings on proposed bills. A bill must pass identical versions in both houses before it can be approved by the president or a state governor. Most state legislatures are bicameral, except for Nebraska's unicameral system. Executive branch. The executive branch administers and enforces laws at both federal and state levels. It is led by the president at the federal level or the governor at the state level, who possess the authority to approve or veto legislative proposals. The federal executive branch comprises 15 departments, such as the Department of Health and Human Services, DHHS, each headed by a cabinet member responsible for specific public affairs. Similarly, state executive branches are organized into departments managed by governors, who also present budgets, recommend legislation, and oversee state military forces. Judicial branch. The primary function of the judicial branch is adjudication, resolving disputes in accordance with the law. While the courts play a crucial role in interpreting and applying laws, most disputes are resolved outside the courtroom through negotiations or settlements, ensuring that the judicial system remains efficient and accessible. Together, these branches maintain a balance of power, ensuring that no single branch becomes too dominant and that the government operates smoothly and effectively. This table is crucial for illustrating the distinct yet interconnected roles of the legislative, executive, and judicial branches of government. By clearly delineating the specific functions each branch performs, such as the legislative branch's authority to write and enact laws, the executive branch's power to veto laws and appoint justices, and the judicial branch's role in interpreting and declaring laws constitutional, the table highlights the system of checks and balances that maintains governmental balance and prevents the concentration of power. Understanding these separate responsibilities is essential for comprehending how laws are created, enforced, and reviewed within the United States. Additionally, the table serves as an effective educational tool, simplifying complex governmental structures and facilitating easier comparison and retention of each branch's unique duties. Ultimately, this visualization reinforces the importance of each branch in upholding democracy, ensuring accountability, and safeguarding the rule of law. Scarcely any political question arises in the United States that is not resolved sooner or later into a judicial question, underscores the pivotal role of the judiciary in American governance. Tocqueville, a renowned French political thinker and historian best known for his seminal work, Democracy in America, provided deep insights into the functioning of American democracy and its institutions. Tocqueville's comment highlights how the judicial branch often serves as the ultimate arbiter in political disputes, reflecting the strength and independence of the judiciary in the United States. This tendency is rooted in the American system of checks and balances, where the judiciary has the authority to interpret laws, assess their constitutionality, and ensure that executive and legislative actions comply with the Constitution. As political issues evolve, they frequently encounter legal challenges that necessitate judicial review, thereby positioning the courts as essential players in shaping public policy and upholding democratic principles. Furthermore, Tocqueville's insight anticipates the dynamic interplay between law and politics in the U.S., where courts not only resolve specific disputes, but also influence broader societal norms and values. This judicial involvement ensures that political power is balanced and that individual rights are protected against potential overreach by other branches of government. In essence, Tocqueville's foresight into the judiciary's role reveals the intricate relationship between law and politics in America, emphasizing the judiciary's crucial function in maintaining the rule of law and safeguarding democratic governance. The federal court system of the United States is structured in three primary levels: the U.S. District Courts, the U.S. Courts of Appeals, and the U.S. Supreme Court. This hierarchical system ensures the effective administration of justice and the uniform interpretation of federal laws across the nation. U.S. District Courts at the base of the federal judiciary are the U.S. District Courts. These are the trial courts where federal cases are initially filed and heard. Each state has at least one district court, and larger states may have multiple districts. District courts handle a wide range of cases, including civil disputes, criminal prosecutions, and cases involving federal statutes or constitutional issues. Judges in these courts oversee the proceedings, rule on evidence, and issue judgments. The district courts are crucial for the day-to-day administration of federal justice, addressing matters from small claims to significant legal controversies. U.S. Courts of Appeals. Above the district courts are the U.S. Courts of Appeals, also known as circuit courts. The country is divided into 13 appellate circuits, each encompassing several states. These courts do not hold trials, but review decisions made by district courts to ensure the law was applied correctly and that legal procedures were followed. Cases are typically heard by a panel of 3 judges who examine the record of the lower court's proceedings and consider written briefs and oral arguments from the parties involved. The courts of appeals play a vital role in shaping federal law by setting precedents that lower courts must follow, thereby ensuring consistency and uniformity in legal interpretations across different jurisdictions. U.S. Supreme Court. At the pinnacle of the federal court system sits the U.S. Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. Comprising 9 justices, the Supreme Court has the ultimate authority in interpreting the Constitution and federal law. The court primarily reviews cases from the courts of appeals, and in some instances, directly from district courts. It selects a limited number of cases each term, typically those involving significant constitutional questions or conflicts among appellate courts. Decisions made by the Supreme Court are final and binding on all other courts, making its rulings pivotal in shaping American law and society. In conclusion, the federal court system, with its 3-tiered structure, ensures a comprehensive and balanced approach to justice. From the foundational trials in district courts to the appellate reviews in the courts of appeals, culminating in the definitive rulings of the Supreme Court, each level plays a distinct and essential role in maintaining the rule of law and upholding the principles of the United States Constitution. So now let's talk about another very important concept. The concept of separation of powers, coupled with a system of checks and balances, is fundamental to the functioning of the United States government. This framework ensures that no single branch becomes too powerful, maintaining a balanced and effective governance structure. In the legislative process, the interplay between the three branches, legislative, executive, and judicial, is vividly illustrated. At the federal level, Congress, comprising the Senate and the House of Representatives, holds the authority to create statutes. Once a bill is passed by both houses, it is sent to the President for approval. If the President signs the bill, it becomes law, showcasing the executive branch's role in the legislative process. However, the President has the power to veto legislation, serving as a crucial check on Congress. If a bill is vetoed, Congress can override this decision, but only with a 2/3 majority vote in both the Senate and the House. This high threshold ensures that only bills with substantial support can become law despite a presidential veto. Additionally, the President can employ a pocket veto by taking no action on a bill while Congress is in session. This inaction effectively prevents the bill from becoming law unless Congress reconvenes and approves it in a subsequent session. The pocket veto underscores the executive branch's ability to influence legislation without direct confrontation. Through these mechanisms, the separation of powers and checks and balances work together to promote collaboration, prevent abuses of power, and ensure that legislation reflects a broad consensus, thereby safeguarding democratic principles. The Department of Health and Human Services, DHHS, stands as one of the most crucial cabinet-level departments within the executive branch of the federal government, specifically dedicated to healthcare and healthcare administration. Established on April 11, 1953, DHHS was created to enhance the public health and welfare of Americans by ensuring accessible, affordable, and quality health care and child care, safeguarding food safety, preparing for public health emergencies, and advancing the diagnosis, treatment, and cure of life-threatening illnesses. As the primary source of regulations governing the healthcare industry, DHHS plays a pivotal role in shaping and enforcing policies that impact every facet of healthcare delivery and administration. The Secretary of DHHS, the department's administrative head, serves as a key advisor to the President on health, welfare, and income security policies and programs. DHHS oversees essential programs such as Social Security benefits, supplemental security income, Medicare, Medicaid, and initiatives under the Older Americans Act, which provide vital services like home health care, adult day care, and transportation for senior citizens. For healthcare managers, DHHS is a focal point, as it dictates the regulatory framework and administrative guidelines that govern healthcare operations. Understanding DHHS regulations and policies is essential for healthcare managers to ensure compliance, optimize service delivery, and effectively navigate the complexities of the healthcare landscape. By leading national health objectives and providing comprehensive support programs, DHHS is indispensable in promoting a robust and equitable healthcare system. Hello everyone, let's discuss an essential aspect of our society: government ethics. Ethics and the law aren't just related, they're deeply intertwined. Without both, we'd be living in a lawless land. Recently, there has been growing concern about corruption, declining civility, and unethical behavior in various sectors. Despite these challenges, there are robust systems in place to uphold ethics in government. In the executive branch, the Office of Government Ethics ensures that executive officials adhere to ethical standards, Meanwhile, in Congress, the House of Representatives Committee on Ethics and the U.S. Senate Select Committee on Ethics work diligently to investigate and address unethical conduct among legislators. The judicial branch also plays a crucial role with the U.S. Judicial Code of Conduct, which guides judges in maintaining impartiality and integrity. Additionally, the Office of Congressional Ethics provides oversight and support to keep our elected officials accountable. These agencies are designed to protect our rights, such as privacy and self-determination, ensuring that our legal and ethical standards are maintained. However, as citizens, we must also embrace the virtues and values that support a fair and just society. By doing so, we can work together to strengthen our legal system and promote ethical behavior across all levels of government. Let's remember that ethics and law go hand in hand. Together, they create a framework that not only prevents chaos, but also fosters a society built on trust and integrity. It's up to all of us to support and uphold these principles, ensuring a brighter and more ethical future for everyone. Political malpractice refers to unethical, illegal, or improper behavior by public officials and politicians. This includes actions such as corruption, abuse of power, favoritism, fraud, and negligence in fulfilling official duties. Political malpractice undermines public trust, disrupts effective governance, and compromises the integrity of public institutions. In the context of healthcare management, political malpractice can have significant and far-reaching consequences. Healthcare managers operate within a framework heavily influenced by government policies, regulations, and funding. When political malpractice occurs, it can lead to corruption and misallocation of resources. Misuse of funds intended for healthcare programs can result in inadequate services, compromised patient care, and financial instability within healthcare institutions. Policy manipulation. Unethical political influence can skew healthcare policies to favor certain groups or interests, undermining equitable access to healthcare and prioritizing profit over patient well-being. Regulatory failures. Political malpractice may weaken regulatory oversight, allowing substandard practices to persist and endangering public health. Erosion of trust. When political malpractice is evident, it erodes trust in both government and healthcare institutions, making it harder for healthcare managers to implement effective programs and secure public support. Legal and compliance issues. Healthcare managers must navigate complex regulations. Political malpractice can complicate compliance efforts, increase the risk of legal penalties, and damage organizational reputation. To mitigate the effects of political malpractice, healthcare managers must advocate for transparency, uphold ethical standards, and ensure robust compliance mechanisms. By fostering a culture of integrity and accountability, healthcare managers can help safeguard the quality and accessibility of healthcare services, even in the face of political challenges. In summary, political malpractice poses a significant threat to effective healthcare management by disrupting resource allocation, policy integrity, and public trust. Addressing these issues is crucial for maintaining a resilient and ethical healthcare system.